What is up, everybody? Welcome to this awesome video. Haha, see what I did there? If you are new here, my name is Edis, and I'll be guiding you through today's episode on what the Russia-Ukraine tension is all about, how it affects the market, and most importantly, how you can take advantage of it and make some bread. Haha, alright. Without any further ado, let's get into the video. For months, the US said it did not think a final decision had been made. But on 18th February, President Joe Biden said he believed Mr. Putin had decided to attack in the coming days. In the words of the Czech Prime Minister, Europe is a step away from war. Russia is adamant it has no plans to attack Ukraine, a country of 44 million people. But it has before, in 2014, when it seized Crimea and backed a conflict in Ukraine's eastern Donbas region. So why is all this happening? Russia has long resisted Ukraine's move, both NATO and the EU. Its core demand now is for the West to guarantee Ukraine will not join NATO, a defensive alliance of 30 countries. Ukraine shares borders with both the EU and Russia. As a former Soviet republic, it has deep social and cultural ties with Russia, and Russian is widely spoken there. But ever since Russia invaded in 2014, those relations have frayed. When Ukrainians deposed their pro-Russian president in early 2014, Russia annexed Ukraine's southern Crimean peninsula and backed separatists who captured large swaths of eastern Ukraine. The rebels have fought the Ukrainian military ever since in the conflict that has claimed more than 14,000 lives. Russia has complained that a 2015 Minsk peace deal for eastern Ukraine is far from being fulfilled, but it also accused of being part of the lingering conflict. Alright, so how does all of these affect the market? Whenever the market goes up or down, it's for the same reason: the level of certainty. If people are certain about something, market goes green. If people are uncertain about something, for example the Russian-Ukraine tension occurring now, the market goes red. A potential invasion of Ukraine by neighboring Russia would be felt across a number of markets, from wheat and energy prices and the region's sovereign dollar bonds to safe haven assets and stock markets. Let's start with the first one: safe havens. A major risk event usually sees investors rushing back to bonds, generally seen as the safest assets. And this time may not be different. Even if a Russian invasion of Ukraine risks further fanning off oil prices and therefore inflation. Inflation at multi-decade highs and impending interest rate rises have made for a tetchy start to the year for bond markets, with US 10-year rates still hovering close to the key 2% level and German 10-year yields above 0% for the first time since 2019. But an outright Russia-Ukraine conflict could change that. In the forex markets, the Euro-Swiss franc exchange rate is seen as the biggest indicator of the geopolitical risk. In the Eurozone, as the Swiss currency has long been viewed by investors, it hit its strongest levels since May 2015 in late January. Gold, also seen as a shelter in times of conflict or economic strife, is clinging to 13-month peaks. Number 2. Grains and wheat. Any interruption to the flow of grain out of the Black Sea region is likely to have a major impact on prices and further fuel food inflation at a time when affordability is a major concern across the globe following the economic damage caused by the COVID-19 pandemic. 4 major exporters, Ukraine, Russia, Kazakhstan, Romania, ship grain from ports in the Black Sea, which could face disruptions from any military action and sanctions. Ukraine is projected to be the world's third largest exporter of corn in the 2021-2022 season and fourth largest exporter of wheat, according to the International Grains Council data. Russia is also the world's top wheat exporter. Number 3. Natural gas and oil. Energy markets are likely to be hit if tensions turn into conflict. Europe relies on Russia for around 35% of its natural gas, mostly coming through pipelines, which cross Belarus and Poland to Germany. Nord Stream 1, which goes directly to Germany, and others through Ukraine. In 2020, volumes of gas from Russia to Europe fell after lockdown suppressed demand and did not recover fully last year when consumption surged, helping to send prices to record highs. As part of possible sanctions should Russia invade Ukraine, Germany has said it could halt the new Nord Stream 2 gas pipeline from Russia. The pipeline is projected to increase gas imports to Europe, but also underlines its energy dependence on Moscow. Analysts expect natural gas exports from Russia to Western Europe to be significantly reduced through both Ukraine and Belarus in the event of sanctions, saying gas prices could revisit Q4 levels. Oil markets could also be affected through curbs and disruption. Ukraine moves Russian oil to Slovakia, Hungary, and the Czech Republic. Ukraine's transit of Russian crude for export to the bloc was 11.9 million metric tons in 2021, down from the 12.3 million metric tons in 2020. JP Morgan said that the tensions risked a material spike in oil prices and noted that a rise to $150 a barrel would reduce global GDP growth to just 0.9% while more than doubling inflation to 7.2%. Alright, now let's talk about how we can invest during situations like this and how we can take advantage of it. Let me introduce you to this phrase by the financial Nathan Rothschild. Buy on the sound of cannons, sell on the sound of trumpets. This means to buy during war or bad times, and then sell during peaceful or good times. This strategy can be applied in times like this, where we have a golden opportunity to enter at a low and discounted price. By the way, the S&P 500 index had dropped 9.3% at the time of the recording, which is basically the average year worth of growth, since the S&P 500 index usually goes up by 8 to 9% per year on average. Alright everybody, that'll be all for this video. I hope that you have learned something new and that you are able to take advantage of this and invest wisely. If you enjoyed this video, you can show your support by smashing that like and subscribe button. You can also hit the bell icon, which will notify you whenever I post a new video. Also, I'm curious on what you guys are thinking about the current situation, so please send a comment to the comment section down below. Remember, your support will always be my greatest motivation to keep posting new videos. And also remember to save, invest, and win. See you in the next video. Bye bye.